Hello everyone, my name is MrAlberto23 and today I'm going to be completing my final tutorial for how to do the battleship minigame with this tool. So normally in a 100% speedrun, you're supposed to win this minigame. Before we had this tool, we had to kind of just guess where to shoot. And you have to win one under 20 and another one you can just win. And that's to get all the items. So you have to win twice. One of them has to be sub 20. You can imagine guessing where the ships are is pretty bad and very inconsistent, and this one ended up being one of the biggest reset points in the runs. However, with this tool, it is no longer the case because this tool makes it literally 100% consistent for winning this minigame. So let me show you how to use it. So to start, by the way, make sure you don't get these rupees. Do not get these rupees before using this tool. It messes up the tool, so don't get those rupees. Okay, so pull up the link for the page. It's in the description. You may find another link by Peter Schmidt Nelson. Don't use that link because that's an outdated version of the tool. So to start, click on large table and initialize. So it's going to be downloading a bunch of boards that are linked to RNG values, and that's it's going to take a little bit of time, but it'll download. It'll load. And also leave the area because we're going to be starting this from outside the room. We have to start the timer as soon as we enter. So for one, click on automatically find nearby matches. You could edit some of these advanced settings, but actually they're designed to be fine for somebody who's just starting off the tool. The only one you're going to have to be changing is first board mean, but leave all the others alone. So we're going to click save settings. Then you can always change these settings. So if I wanted the first board mean to always stay at 7,000, which is what I use for speedruns, you click save settings, and then if you restarted the page, it would always, and you have to click initialize every time, and it would now be 7,000. So you could just save these settings. So, but first board mean is basically your estimate for what you think the RNG value is when you enter the room. And so this RNG value, the RNG value always starts at 0. When you home quit the game and start up, or from any fresh boot of the game, it starts at 0, and it's always the same set order. So basically, the longer the game is on, the higher your RNG value gets. And your RNG value increases at a different rate depending on what room you're in. So in an area like this on Windfall, the RNG value does not tick up that quickly. However, if you're in the room where you get bottle from Medley, that area ticks up RNG thousands of times faster than normal. So as you can imagine, if you make a mistake in the run, if you make a mistake in that area, you will have a much higher increase in your first board mean when you reach Sploosh than if you mess up on Windfall, for example. And so as I've done runs, I've gotten a better idea of this first board mean because the tool will tell you what your RNG value was, and I'll show you that in a second. So I can just enter in this first board mean. However, let's say you don't know what it is. Let's say you're a newer runner and you've had the game on for a while and you have no idea how long the game has been on for. You can home quit and then start it up and just put in 100 for this first board mean. But that's slow, and so there's a faster option. So let's say you're in the middle of a run and you don't want to home quit because, that's just slow. Like, you have to home quit and restart the game. We're going to use the tool to figure out what your first board mean is, then re-enter it in, and then use that first board mean. Let me show you that. So we're going to start using the tool now. So I'm going to go outside the area. And again, make sure you haven't gotten any of those rupees. And I'm going to press start on the timer to start it at the same time as pressing A to open the door. You want to try to have them as close to the same time as possible. So A and space at the same time. There we go. So now I've started the tool. So you can see the steps is moving, seconds elapsed is ticking up. Now I'm going to very quickly navigate to the guy on the desk. It's faster to dry roll to him. And then hold B and mash A to go through this text as fast as possible. And we're going to purposely lose because we want to lose and enter in that board so that we can have the tool figure out what what RNG values are tied to this board. There will be several, actually. So we're going to enter this in. We're going to enter on the left square and click at the beginning at the end of each squid to enter them in. And it will automatically set it to a certain size based on how far you clicked. So there's a 3, a 2, and a 4. Okay. So now we're gonna press space on the keyboard and A on the same time in the game to close the board and split at the same time. So there you go. I just pressed them both at the same time. And it says no matches found, but it's fine. I'll show you what we do. So, well, first I'm going to show you, if you press find match indices, it will search. And now you can see all these matches. Look at all of these. That's because each Sploosh Kaboom board is not tied to one RNG value. They repeat. So you can see these are all repeats. Every one of these RNG values, if we add them, it would have led to the same board. So we actually have to get another board. And this is going to be a slightly higher RNG value because it was generated after the first one. So we're going to miss on purpose on the edge again. And we're going to enter in this RNG value. This board by once again clicking at the beginning of end of each squid. And then we're going to once again press space and A at the same time. And I know it says no matches found. We're gonna press find match indices again. And this time you're gonna see now it has 2 matches. These are kind of, it's a weird glitch. This is really the same values, you can see. This plus is basically saying the second board was this many RNG values higher. Because if you think about it, the longer you're in the minigame, the higher the RNG value is gonna get. So the second board is this RNG value plus this value. And so I'm pretty sure that it's this one, and this is the one. So it's not this one. This is way too high. Like, I know this is way too high. Just use this match. So what we're gonna do is ignore the last 3 digits because this first board mean should be the it's in the thousands, as it says. All counts are in the thousands. So we're gonna ignore these last 3 values and we're gonna put in this value. So 1371. So we're gonna put that in for our first board mean. And that means that our RNG value when we first entered, that first board was 1371. This board right here was 1371,000. That's what the RNG value was tied to that board. So now that we're playing with the correct first board mean, now we can go ahead and focus on winning. So we're gonna shoot where it tells us to shoot. And if it's a hit, we press X. In this case, it's a miss. We press Z. Okay, so we're gonna go again. It's a Z, a miss. There, Z, miss. So on until eventually we get a hit. Eventually. Miss. Hit, so we press X. Okay, that's a hit, press X, X, and then that's a sink, so we press X and then V to sink the squid. Now the number of squids killed is 1, and it's just incrementing it up. It's a hit at X, miss, Z, and then you can see it is actually completely narrowed down. Look, it knows there's only one option. Look, you can see these are guaranteed because everything else, there are 100% chance, and everything else is a 0, so... however, I will mention, so in the run, you try to get as many rupees as possible. So you can get 100 rupee if you get sub 20 and then beat that record. So for the very first time, you want to on purpose miss and then make it so that when you sink that squid, you get 19. So that the next time you can beat it and get under 19 and you get 100 rupees. So one more thing I want to show you. Let's say you accidentally get the wrong square. So let's say I shot here by accident. I can click it with my, I can click it once to make it a miss, click it twice to make it a hit, or click it 3 times to clear that. And also you can change the number of squid kills by just incrementing it this way. So that's how to use it. Basically you would, again, so let's say, after you do this, you would press space again and A, and you would play the game again, and then you would go through. I'm not gonna do this, but you would go through and shoot where it tells you to shoot, and once again enter hits, misses, and sinks. And so you would get under 19, and then you win. So now before I finish this video, I want to mention that in this video, I didn't know my first board mean, but so every time you do a 100% run, home quit the game and start up before you start the run, which zeros that will zero the RNG value. It'll set it back to 0 because it always starts at 0 when the game starts. And so by the time you reach the Sploosh Kaboom minigame, your first board mean should be pretty decently consistent. I'll just give you an idea. When I do 100% no MSS, this is around 2,950 is what I put in. So I will, before entering, put 2,950. And so if you have a correct first board mean, you, instead of throwing 2 boards, you can throw just 1 board. So it saves time because you don't have to enter in both of these boards. So just enter in one, just shoot on the edges for the first board and then win the next 2. So it just makes it so it saves about 20 seconds because that extra board that you're putting in and throwing, that takes 20 seconds. So this is what I do in 100% No MSS. I put 2950. It's regular 100%. I usually put 7150. But definitely experiment because, you know, if I am the world record holder, so I do have faster movement in key areas. And so those areas could end up making your value a lot higher. So I would recommend when you first do runs, start off by just throwing 2 boards, and then as you get a better idea for your first board mean, based on the mistakes you make in key areas, I would just eventually just put in this first board mean as your best estimate and only throw 1 board. And that's it for my tutorial today. So I hope this tutorial helps people use this tool. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below in the description and I will be sure to answer your question. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.